confirmed all is set for Moises Caicedo to join Chelsea. Hello everyone and thank you for being part of the Chelsea chapter, and make it a point to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Chelsea related, right about here at the Chelsea chapter with me, your host Abu KALS, as I'm more than ready to bring to you the latest. So you definitely know that the transfer window is here. We are talking about the summer transfer window, so we're going to be seeing quite a lot happening in the summer transfer window as Chelsea is looking at reinforcement again in different fields. As you already know that the last season was not the best of seasons, it didn't go on quite well for the club Chelsea, but a few changes have to be made as very many football players did not perform to the anticipation. And right about now, Chelsea is looking at a reinforcement. Right again, some football players will be sold and others will be bought, and hopefully Chelsea is going to be buying effective football players, making sure that those ones who did not perform, have not been performing, can really go to another club. They can sell them off and buy new football players, and possibly Chelsea can get back to the good days they had some time ago. And you can remember all this started, the decline started when Thomas Tuchel left the club, and reports have come out that the reason as to why Thomas Tuchel left the club, why Thomas Tuchel said no to Chelsea, is because Todd Bowley, who is the co-owner of Chelsea, wanted to bring in a few bosses who own the club with him, possibly, so that they can talk to the players at halftime. And Thomas Tuchel said that is definitely not acceptable in football. You are a football club owner. You are not a manager. You've got nothing to do with this. So it definitely didn't go on quite well with Todd Bowley, and that's how he ended up sacking him. And we had again Frank Lampard. Anyway, one of the big reasons as to why right about now is a crucial moment for the club Chelsea. Chelsea definitely needs to reinforce in different sections, and also I personally think if Chelsea need to get to a better position, they need to make sure that separate business from football. Those are two different things. Separate business from football. Todd Bowley is not a football manager. He isn't, and I'll repeat it. He is not a football manager. So football is it comes with quite a lot of stress. So. There's a lot of pressure, more especially when the game is on. So you, as a football owner, coming to the dressing room and telling football players, telling them how good they are not, how they are not performing, it doesn't help. That is the work for the manager. And it will be remembered that Thomas Tuchel. That's the reason as to why Thomas Tuchel left the club. And also, in one of the press conferences, the manager who was there after Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter, also mentioned something about this, and he said it's a big thing. It's definitely something very big for him to be working 100% under the orders of somebody, but we could not understand what it was until of recent. Anyway, that's not the main topic. That's just we're talking a little bit about the problems Chelsea has been having of recent. And right about now, let's dig into the transfer that is going to happen, and is it necessary? Is the money worth spending? Because the Chelsea also needs to put in consideration that financial fair play rules might be getting up with them, as Todd Bowley has spent a lot of money in the general transfer window, and right about now he's about to spend quite a lot more of money because he's willing. So the strategy was buying these young football players, and also making sure that these football players perform quite well. buying all of them, the young football players he bought for the next generation. But as I can tell you, the club definitely needs the right man in as a manager. So that definitely means that if you buy these football players, they should have the best of managers because they are very young. These are young football players who definitely need to be guided quite a lot. On very many occasions, you need to guide these young gentlemen. So it could go either way, bad or good. However, now that Chelsea is putting guns on Moises Caicedo, who is a midfielder, let's see. As people have been asking me, who is Moises Caicedo? So Moises Caicedo, his full name is Moises Isaac Caicedo Corozo. He is an Ecuadorian professional football player who plays as a midfielder for Premier League club Brighton and Hove, and also the Ecuador national team. It will be remembered that this gentleman, Moises Caicedo, has been on the hunt by quite a big number of clubs. Very many clubs have always wanted to sign him, and recently he almost went to Arsenal, as Arsenal was in big competition in the January transfer window for this gentleman, but things didn't go on quite well for Arsenal, and Chelsea had a bigger advantage because they were willing to pay the amount of money, and what he is worth right about now, his market value is £55 million, and for Arsenal it could be a bit expensive for them, but not for Chelsea. Todd Boehly is willing to spend the cash, spend the money, as long as the football player is alright, as long as the football player is good. Todd Boehly is more than willing to spend a lot of money on the football player, so money shouldn't be a problem in getting Moises Caicedo. So is it worth getting Moises Caicedo with all these football players that are already at the club, all these football players that are at Chelsea? Is it worth getting Moises Caicedo? I think yes, he brings something new to the club, but also there have been quite a big number of football players who have not performed quite well, and we should also think that years of experience is what the club should be looking at. A club should also get very experienced football players who've played for quite a big number of years, and around 2-3 to join the club, because the club is entirely a youth squad. It's just a young squad, and definitely it's done well for Arsenal. Arsenal has a young squad, and they have not done bad in the last season. But when you see how it's definitely going, for Chelsea, it's not the best. And my anticipation is in a few years to come, 2-3 years to come, Chelsea will be a top club. It will definitely be a top club if they get the right manager. If Chelsea gets the right manager, then definitely that means that it will be a top club with top football players. Because when you see all the football players that are at Chelsea, all of them are definitely class, very good football players. And I can see when you look at the entire squad, the entire squad, definitely it's amazing. Entire Chelsea squad is definitely amazing. It's got very good football players, I must say, and that shows you how good they can be in the near future. Anyway, you need to let us know what you think in the comment section, so that you do not miss it on whatever I've definitely got to bring to, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Chelsea related. Right about here at the Chelsea chapter, as we are more than interested in bringing to the latest straight as it comes in. So the Brighton and Hove superstar, there's been quite a big number of football players from Brighton and Hove, and the world has reacted on getting them. Brighton and Hove is of recent has been known for raising very good football players, but the fact that it's not a top club, the players have not always remained there. Clubs with money have always bought the football players, and right about now, that's where I can say Chelsea should take advantage of this young gentleman, because he is at the peak of his career, and he is only 21 years. at the peak of his career and 21 years. He's got quite a long period of time. If Chelsea can sign him for possibly 4 or 5 years, that will definitely be a great thing. But as it stands per now, Chelsea have had talks definitely with Moises Caicedo's agent and the Chelsea management. Definitely all of them sat down and agreed upon how much he could be getting once he gets to Chelsea, and also not forgetting that they've talked about any hindrances that could come in between Chelsea and Brighton and Hove. So they're trying to tackle that, and so Chelsea definitely needs to cash in. Chelsea needs to cash in, put in the money, make sure that no club is going to get him. If they want him, they definitely have to get him. If Chelsea wants him, Chelsea has to get him quite quick. Otherwise, let us know again what you think in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss it on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Chelsea related, right about here at the Chelsea chapter. And we are talking about a big football player, and that's Moises Caicedo, still young, still a very young one, a very young football player, but very talented. And still, when you see how Chelsea played last season, that definitely means that Chelsea could be having wrong football players in, because with a big squad, loads of options, a big squad, a lot of talented football players, definitely. And you cannot get even to top four. That is not something good. So, and you've seen Chelsea bought Mikhail Mudryk, but he's not just got into the game just as yet, but he is good. And Enzo Fernandez also is a very wonderful one. Plus, Kai Havertz, on very many occasions, he's missed chances for Chelsea, and there is a question mark on Kai Havertz. And Joao Felix definitely could be leaving the club because he's just on loan, and we could be seeing things turning around. Whereas N'Golo Kante also is in there. Noni Madueke, he's also played well. Madueke has played well before, but he's not yet fit in the club quite well. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang also, with injuries and stuff, things have not gone on quite well. Anyway, almost all these football players that have been bought, we've not seen them at their best. I can't say I've seen any Chelsea football player at his best the way they were playing before. And when you look at a player like David Detro Fofana, definitely how he was playing before was definitely very good. But when he came to Chelsea, he's not played very well. So there must be a problem somewhere that definitely has to be solved. This problem has to be solved for a fact, because all these young football players, they are talented. No matter, there's nothing you can tell me that can listen to if you tell me they are not talented. You see Enzo Fernandez, Mikhail Mudryk, Joao Felix is also in there, Noni Madueke. All these young football players, definitely they are great football players. David Datro Fofana, you see there is kind of Marc Cucurella. So, and talking about Marc Cucurella is a very good one, I must say. Marc Cucurella is a good football player, and you can see he was bought by Chelsea from Brighton and Hove, and you can see the impact of the football player. So that's why the impact that he has caused to the club, how he's helped the club. That's why Chelsea is looking at even getting one more from Brighton and Hove, and that is Moises Caicedo. So Moises Caicedo, definitely, I think it's going, if Chelsea close up on this, if they cash in, as already talks have been on for him to join the club, Chelsea, I think if they cash on this gentleman, then it's gonna be a great thing. Todd Bowley, I think Todd Bowley is interested in this gentleman, and it could be something great. It could be something great, and we could see who is going to be next in line very soon after he has been signed, after Moises Caicedo has been signed, who could be the next. But for now, I think Moises Caicedo could do a very good job at the club Chelsea. So let us know what you definitely think in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell, as such you do not miss out on whatever I've definitely got to bring to, as long as it is sport and as long as it is Chelsea related, right about here at the Chelsea chapter with me, your host Abu KALS, as I tell you thank you and goodbye for now.